Week 4 of college football's hosted some big games. We're going to break down the 5 biggest games on the slate for Saturday, September 20th, and come up with a best bet for those games right here, right now. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the show, and for joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. We're going to look at the 5 biggest games in college football for Saturday, September 20th, and I'll tell you what side I think you should be on from a betting standpoint. I'm going to leave 2 links for you in the comments section of the video. The first link is to my $5 favorite play of the day for Saturday in college football. And for just $5 and no further obligation, you get my best college football bet of the day text to your phone. Last week's play was Texas Tech to cover the spread. Congratulations to all who purchased it and tailed. The second link is to become a Jungle member, and for as little as 55 cents a day, you can become a member of the fastest growing sports betting community in the Western Hemisphere. You get my full betting card text to your phone every single morning, access to our members-only Discord, and a direct line to me if you'd like me to opine on any other bet that you're considering placing. We have a free weekly trial. Take it for a test spin and see if it's for you. Today's video is brought to you by Outlier.bet, the top name in sports betting research, and by Red Lobster, better than Long John Silver's. First game we're looking at is Auburn at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is minus 6.5. Jackson Arnold returns to Oklahoma, and he was there. I think there was a mutual breakup. It was not a good time for him, nor for the Sooners. Now he returns with his Auburn Tigers 3-0, ranked 22nd in the country. Oklahoma is also 3-0. They're ranked 11th, and they're led by the rocket arm of their new quarterback, Washington State transfer, Johnny Mateer, who's elevated himself into the Heisman conversation. Auburn has one quality win so far this season against Baylor, a game which they won 38-24. But Jackson Arnold in that game couldn't throw the ball down the field. They relied on the run game and a strong defense. When they did try and throw the ball, they couldn't get anything going down the field. And it's not because they don't have the wide receivers. They have great wide receivers. And the problem wasn't that they weren't open. Arnold just couldn't give them the ball. Any pass play that they completed was within 5 to 10 yards, essentially, into the sidelines, nothing across the middle. Oklahoma had a convincing win over Michigan. They smothered freshman star quarterback Bryce Underwood and essentially took their passing game completely away. Oklahoma's defense is ranked 4th in the country in points per game allowed. They allow just 6.3 points a game, and they're 2nd in passing yards per game allowed. They allow just 84.7 yards a game through the air. The Auburn Tigers are 101st in the country right now in explosive pass plays, and that's very little. There's a very little path for them winning this game, in my opinion, unless they can move the ball down the field in chunks. Meanwhile, Oklahoma's offense has been able to get whatever they want to. The Sooners put up 408 yards and 28 points against the Michigan defense that many consider one of the top in the country. I don't like the spot here for Jackson Arnold and the Auburn Tigers. I think Oklahoma wins by double digits. Lay the 6.5 with the Sooners. Florida at Miami. Miami's laying 7.5. The Hurricanes come in 3-0 with big wins over Notre Dame and USF. Florida is a disappointing 1-2 this season. The offense has struggled to move the ball, and DJ Lagway looked utterly confused at times last week against LSU, a game in which he turned the ball over 5 times. And it's not getting easier this week against the Hurricanes defense that has a revamped secondary, and they're allowing just 13 points a game, having played 2 very good opponents at that. The Hurricanes' pass rush is also one of the most fierce in the country, and they have arguably the best front 4 in college football. On the offensive side of the ball for Miami, Carson Beck has been fantastic. Miami's scoring 40.3 points a game. They're throwing for over 300 yards through the air and rushing for 175 yards a game. They're also in the top 20 in the country in third down conversion percentage, converting 51% of the time on third down. I think that Miami is the second best team in the country right now. I would put Ohio State 1, Miami 2, Penn State 3, and I would put Oregon 4 without much separation between these teams. I don't even have Florida in the top 30. Besides being a Gators fan, I want to know in the comments section what would put you on Florida for this game. And again, take fandom out of it. You have to disassociate your feelings for teams when you bet. If you take the logos out of this game and the history of what these programs have done, and you look at these teams objectively this season, and this game being played in Miami, I don't see any other play that I want to make than Miami minus the 7.5. Michigan at Nebraska. Nebraska getting 2.5 points at home. Michigan is 2-1. Their only loss being on the road to Oklahoma. And Nebraska is 3-0. Michigan quarterback, true freshman Bryce Underwood, who just recently turned 18, has only had 1 game on the road in his career. in Oklahoma, and he had a terrible time. He was 9 for 24 passing, just 124 yards, no touchdowns. He had a passer rating of 45.8, and he ran 3 times for -1 yard. We made money in the jungle on that game with Oklahoma, and the main part of that handicap was how difficult that environment would be for Underwood in his first road game. And this game, to me, has a similar vibe, a similar flavor to it. Nebraska is the #1 ranked pass defense in the country. They allow just 66 passing yards a game and just 8 points. And here comes Underwood again, his second career road game, to maybe an even more difficult environment against a more difficult defense. This game could be a statement win for Dylan Raiola and the Cornhuskers. Raiola is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He's got 8 touchdowns, no interceptions, and the quarterback rating of 178.8. He has the arm to push the ball downfield against this Michigan defense, much like Johnny Mateer from Oklahoma did. And Nebraska's high percentage quick screen passes that they'd like to run should prevent 3rd and long situations, a situation that the Wolverines defense thrives on. I like the Cornhuskers here plus the 2.5 points at home. Let's take a minute to talk about sportsbooks. With so many options out there, it's hard to know which is the best one for you. Well, my friends at mybookie.ag have a great deal for new customers. Sign up for a new account using the promo code SILVERBACK, and your first bet is covered up to $500. That's right, the first bet that you place on mybookie.ag, if it doesn't hit, your bet will be covered, refunded up to $500. MyBookie.ag offers some of the best lines in the business on everything you're accustomed to betting on: lines, totals, player props, and everything else that you can think of. Set up an account at MyBookie.ag. You literally have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Fourth game we're looking at, Texas Tech at Utah. Pardon me, Utah is laying 3.5 at home. 2 great quarterbacks that play the game a lot differently. Texas Tech offense has been explosive behind the arm of Baron Morton. They average 407 passing yards a game, second in college football, and they're #1 in points per game with 58. But those wins have come against terrible teams, frankly. The best win was against Oregon State, and they're atrocious. Atrocious, I say. Utah has a dual-threat quarterback, Devin Dampier, who's thrown for 7 touchdowns and no interceptions, and he's run for 66 yards a game. Last season, he ran for 1,166 yards, but had a completion percentage of just 58, and there was concerns about his ability to win these big games like they have coming up Saturday. But the junior quarterback is flashing strengths with his arm this season, completing 73% of his passes thus far. Utah can score the football, too. They're 14th in scoring. They average 45.7 points a game and are second in the country in 3rd down conversion percentage, converting a remarkable 71.1% of 3rd downs. Both offenses are more than capable of scoring points in this game, but I think the difference will be the Utah Utes defense. They're 8th in the country in points allowed per game, and remember, there's 136 college football teams. They're ranked 8th, allowing just 8.3 points a game. They also rank 15th in sacks, 21st in quarterback hits, and they're 9th in 3rd down conversions allowed, allowing opponents to convert just 22.2% of 3rd downs. I think this will be a close game, and I think that Utah will win. I like their defense, and I like the home field here. I would take Utah on the money line for anything less than -1, better than -150. If you can't get the Utes on the money line for -150 or better, I'd look at laying the 3.5. And the last game we're looking at here is Illinois at Indiana. Indiana's laying 6.5. Now, this line opened at 4.5, and money came in on Indiana. It got bet up to a key number of 6.5. This should be a very tight, very close game. These defenses are ranked 5th and 6th in points allowed this season. Indiana's 2nd in the country in first downs allowed. They allow just 8.3 first downs per game, and Illinois can get to the quarterback without blitzing. They have an elite front 4, and they are 4th in the country in quarterback hits. They hit the quarterback 5.3 times a game. Offensively, both teams are solid as well. Indiana wants to run the ball. They're 3rd in rushing yards. They average 307 yards a game on the ground. Illinois wants to throw it. They average 245 through the air. But Indiana can throw it, and Illinois can run it. Illinois takes care of the ball. They're one of the few teams in college football who have not turned the ball over once this season. Illinois is ranked 9th. Indiana's ranked 19th. Now, this is a very tough place to play in Indiana. They just don't lose very often there. And I don't take points with an underdog if I don't think they can win the game outright. But Illinois can win this game. outright. I'm not saying they will, but they can. And 6.5 points is a lot to give this Illinois team. Their strong defense and a quarterback in Altmaier that doesn't turn the ball over. He takes care of the ball, and I trust him to do that more than I do Mendoza, the quarterback for the Hoosiers. I take the 6.5 with the Fighting Illini. Have a great day, Jungle Nation, and I will see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.